If you want mines, you could voice her characters.
Voice the bratty characters.
They're
Yes, you
they're gonna
get
be
to
very,
voice all the annoying characters
they're gonna
if
be
Anna's
they're
not
gonna
here.
they're gonna be very confused. It's gonna go from Hannah's voice to my voice.
Yep.
Who the fuck is this guy?
So yeah, I was saying earlier, I was watching the last stream and you guys were putting in like way more effort to your voice acting than I was, so I gotta try a bit harder here.
Nah, dude, the monotone, that's just like who you are.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
it's who you've always
I'll do
been.
the narrations monotone, but I'll go from like 0% effort to like 5% effort for the voice acting.
I don't even know how it's gonna be. I'm nervous. I haven't even been awake for like an hour.
I just saw what Kafu said. Get your lesbian ass over here. Okay. Alright. Are you quite sure about that? This was voiced by Alexi, I think was his name. He's not here. Someone's gotta voice her. Sanaku, do you want to voice someone?
Yes.
Alright, you can do her.
Who?
Lyslet.
Is a lot. Okay. I don't know her characters. I'm just gonna wing it.
Okay.
Yes, it was a ghostly figure indeed. Upon seeing the moonlight, I felt as though my hair had melted. Burst straight out of my chest. Kaput!
Was that the sound hearts usually made when they burst? Lorena was curious. Not so very curious, however, that she could muster more than a muted in response. Lies a lot, right? Pouted.
Ah, but Lorena, you sound as though you do not believe me.
Well,
Why not?
Lizelot stared at Lorena, her eyes wide with passion. Personally, Lorena felt it was too early in the morning for such an unchecked display of energy, but she decided to keep that to herself. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Lizelot certainly seemed impassioned, but then again, Lizelot was impassioned about everything. I'm a little skeptical about the existence of ghosts. Sadaku.
Yeah, sorry. But you're English.
And?
You come from the land of unicorns, dragons, leprechauns.
I think you'll find those are Irish.
It is the same thing.
It isn't, though.
Never mind, never mind.
Lysolette waved one hand carelessly. Lorena would have found the gesture irritating were it not coming from such a blonde-haired, blue-eyed maiden. Perhaps Lysolette didn't understand. Lorena tried to reason. She was Swiss after all. Maybe that was why she had been giggling so with Effie the other day. She just didn't know what was appropriate and what was not. One would have thought Effie, being an English-born maiden, wouldn't encourage her so, though.
How can you, of all people, doubt my story? I promise you, I am not lying.
I'm not trying to accuse you of anything. I don't think you're lying, but...
You should see for yourself when you walk around the hallways at night. Maybe your heart will see in your chest too.
I hope not. Lorena frowned and glanced at a nearby clock. She and Lysolot had been charged with airing the carpets and polishing the ornaments in the hallway that morning. An hour or so had passed, and now it was nearing 7:30. If we don't want to be late, we should get on our way to church.
Yes, I was so caught with my chilling tale. I quite forgot.
Lorena smiled, shaking her head. Honestly, what would Lizelot do without her? Well, knowing Lizelot, she'd be fine. Though Lizelot was something of a daydreamer who often lost focus midway through her chores, she was rather popular amongst the residents of Bly. Even Miss Smithy was fond of her, and Miss Smithy seemed to be fond of nothing other than Esselwood's Practical Housekeeping Guide. It was true what they said, if you had looks, you could coast by without any particular talent. It didn't hurt that Lizelot was always so enthusiastic and earnest, but failingly thoughtful, too. She was the kind of girl who, if she saw a spider, would catch it in her hands and release it outside. The thought of killing the poor thing would never have crossed her mind. Right, we should be on our way.
Agreed, Captain.
Captain? Lorena frowned. She wasn't sure how exactly she'd made the sudden career change from maid to captain, but she supposed it didn't matter all that much. Lorena and Lizelot exited Bly through the kitchen. They wended their way through the rose gardens when they were halted quite suddenly by an unexpected interloper, Pauline. Lorena knew she would see Pauline at church, but she'd hoped to delay their inevitable meeting. For whatever reason, Pauline looked rather smug. Pauline always looked smug. Alright, this was voiced by Hannah, I think, so, mine's your up.
Oh, Lorena. I got this. Oh, Lorena. Are you on your way to church?
Yes. Lorena's body drew back instinctively as one would retract their hand from a naked flame. Shouldn't you be on your way to church too?
Yeah, in a moment, dear. First, I have something I want to relate to you.
What?
Is it about the ghost?
No, it's more pressing, immediate concern. Earlier this morning, Miss Smithy asked me to polish the fireplace in the drawing room, but silly me, I quite forgot.
How did you forget?
I had matters to attend to in the gardens. They were quite important.
But Lorena noted Pauline didn't specify what these matters were. If Lorena was a gambling kind of girl, she would wager that these important matters in the gardens involved exchanging idle gossip about the stable heads with Isabel.
Miss Smithy, not to mention Lady Leonard, will be most aggrieved that they return from church to discover the fireplace has not been seen to.
Then perhaps you should finish the task you were assigned.
Oh, I know I should, but I don't want to miss service.
Neither do I.
That's what you say, Lorena. But I doubt missing a service or two will have such an impact on your future.
And what do you mean by that?
I mean,
Pauline's smirk widened.
It's doubtful. It's doubtful a fallen woman such as yourself would ever go to heaven. No matter how much you try to repent, you might as well give up.
Damn. I beg your pardon.
You heard what I said. My innocence is assured. I've lived a good life so far, and it'd be a shame if I went and got a black mark on my record now.
So you want me to take the fall for you?
If you would be so kind, thank you very much. Now, Lottie, are you coming?
But if you had a job to do, you should do it. It's not Lorina's responsibility, surely.
But Lorena offered to help me.
It did not seem that way to me.
Well, if you want to stay here and clean up the fireplace with her, be my guest. But you'd miss out on Reverend Manor's service too, or Marner's service too. You do want to go to heaven. You and meet Saint Verna, don't you, laddie?
Well, when you put it like that,
Excellent. Then let's be on our way.
And on their way they went. As she walked off, Lysolot turned her head and mouthed a few parting words to the dumbstruck Lorena.
I'm sorry.
Hang on, let me read the chat. I'm super behind.
Andrew,
What?
real quick, you should move your VTuber a little bit to like the right.
Okay, hold on.
The last little bit of the text is
yeah,
getting cut off.
I feel like some is gonna be cut off no matter what. Like, unless I just threw it off this far, you know? But
No, like
alright,
I
that's
mean,
a
like
bit
if
better,
you
I
put,
think.
yeah, that's perfect. That's like that's perfect.
How's that?
That's why I
That's
think
good.
that's perfect. Yeah, there you go. See, you can actually see the word.
Yeah. Stupid
There you
Pauline,
go.
where does she get off? That no-mannered, buck-toothed, horse-faced, conniving bitch. Damn. Extremely based. To
I
further
deserve it.
emphasize her... Oh, can you guys see?
Yeah.
Widow.
Okay. Or hold on, I forgot to read the chat. Hold on.
We can see, but I don't think the background music for the game is on right now.
Wait, there was supposed to be background music?
Maybe
I
there's
didn't
just no
know.
music at this part.
I thought that was my stream.
No,
Hmm.
that could be it then.
But this is a visual novel, so you assume so, but... Oh! No music, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kit.
He was made for this role. Wait, who?
For Pauline.
Sanaku?
Yeah. No, mine's
Hmm.
for Pauline. He has the sauce and voice.
The second I realized that she was meant to be sassy, I was like, oh.
Yep.
God damn it.
Gaslight, hate crime, slut shame.
Should use higher voice.
I'm
Lesbians don't
afraid my
go to
voice will
heaven.
crack. Lesbians don't go to heaven.
Burn in holy fire. May it cleanse your soul.
Yeah, but I can't miss service.
Okay, caught up.
Mm.
To further emphasize her point, Lorena kicked the wall with the tip of her shoe. Ow! As Lorena soon discovered, this was a rather poor idea for a couple of reasons. For one thing, kicking the wall hurt. For another, the pale yellow wallpaper had now had a very unappealing blemish streaked across it. Blinking the tears away from her eyes, Lorena peered at the damage she had caused. It didn't look good. Now how was she going to explain this to Miss Smithy? She'd let her temper get the better of her again, just as it had done at Hartwell. Just as it had done with Arthur Pickering. Now, months later, she was still paying the price. Oh, go bugger an orphan. In Lorena's state, she wouldn't have cared if the subject of said buggery was a whole orphanage. This is ridiculous. If you were here, Pauline, I'd smash every one of your teeth in. And because it couldn't possibly get any worse than it was already, Lorena spat on the floor. It wasn't like it mattered. Nobody would see or hear her. Every single occupant of Bly, from Lady Leonard all the way down to the stable boy, would be at church. Every single occupant save her and...
Oh my, I didn't realize you had such a foul tongue on you, my little Lori.
Toho.
Oh,
Ah! Lorena jumped as though she had been prodded with a pin. Her eyes snapped open until they were even wider than the wooden globe Miss Amy used to teach Lady Constance geography. She was so surprised by the parlor maid's presence, she quite forgot that she'd said to her during their last meeting. I won't talk to you if you don't talk to me. Lorena still didn't like the older maid. She refused to like her through sheer stubbornness, but in that moment, curiosity outweighed everything else. Toho? Toho? Why are you here?
Silly one. I thought you knew. I don't go to church.
Yes, I've wondered about that. Doesn't Lady Leonard mind?
He might, but what Lady Leonard thinks is of no concern to me.
It should concern you. She's your employer, and even if you don't care about her, aren't you worried about going to hell?
A truly novel idea. I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
You'd cross a bridge over fire and brimstone? You're more brazen than I thought.
Oh, I don't know. You can be quite brazen too, my little Lori.
What do you mean by... What do you mean?
Well, I wonder. What words just emitted from your lovely maidenly lips? Go sodomize an orphan, was it?
Crazy.
It was go bugger an orphan, actually.
How charming.
Toho giggled. She crossed the room with light footsteps, moving so soundlessly she could have been a ballerina.
I didn't realize you had such a tongue on you. You can curse like a sailor.
My father was a sailor, actually. But that was besides the point. Will you promise to keep this a secret?
Who, me?
Toho gestured towards herself in disbelief.
But I thought you didn't trust me. Why the sudden change of heart?
It's a test.
A test?
If you can keep this to yourself, then maybe I can tolerate you.
Only tolerate?
Don't push your luck.
You drive a hard bargain, but no, very well. I'll take it to the grave.
Do you swear? Toho nodded solemnly, one hand on her chest.
On my mother's life.
A smile found its way to Lorena's lips despite herself. She didn't know why, but talking to the parlor maid, peculiar though she was, had helped lighten her spirits. Even if Toho was a godless devil.
I'm rather curious though, Lori. While I have no problems with being a heathen, I thought you nice, well-raised English girls cared a great deal about your faith.
Oh, I do. My mother would faint if she knew I was missing Sunday service.
Then why are you here, wishing for the brutalization of poor innocent orphans and Paulines alike?
The orphans might be innocent. Lorna conceded, though it really depended on which orphans you were speaking of. But Pauline is not.
I can't believe that. I've never been fond of that woman. And what has Pauline done this time? I take it she is the culprit behind your current state of despair, Kendrillin?
Well, she was supposed to polish this fireplace, but important business. Lorna made quotation marks with her fingers. Came up, and she was unable to finish her chores in time for church.
So she tried to push her duties onto you.
That's how it went, yes.
Oh my, that's truly despicable.
Pauline's like that.
Did you try to argue your case?
I didn't have much time. She left before I could say anything, and Lorena sighed. Her shoulders slumped. I couldn't just go.
I would have if I were you.
But I'm not you.
You're not. And that's why people continue to take advantage of you. Honestly, Lord, have you learned nothing after the little talk I gave you?
Well, I'm very sorry. I've been a little under the weather lately. What with all this nonsense about the ghost.
There's a ghost?
Ask Ada or Lizelot. I'm not interested.
I do think Lottie did mention something like that to me earlier. She sounded quite excited.
She's always excited.
Personally, I find it rather charming, though wide-eyed, innocent little girls like that can be a touch grating. Whenever I see her, I ponder how lovely she would look in tears.
What? Lorena shuddered. That's too much information.
Jealous, are we?
Not at all.
If it's any consolation, Lori, I think you'd look even better in tears.
Well, what kind of consolation is that? Lorena glowered, her hands clenched into fists. But what could she realistically do? Hit Toho? She'd already scuffed the wallpaper in the parlor, so she might as well. After wanton property damage, grievous bodily harm was just a stone's throw away. Hang on, gotta read the chat. You guys are talking so fast I can't keep up. When you go to heaven but it's Chinese, I've seen that. Go sodomize an orphan. That's horrible.
Can't believe Lorena would say that. Cancel Lorena.
Yep. Dyslexia strikes again. No, this has just become a meme now. I call her Toho.
We hate the French, she says about sodomizing orphans.
Sorry?
We hate the French, she says says about sodomizing orphans.
I hate the French.
You guys are gonna spam that whenever Amy shows up again.
Saying that was crazy. Saying that was crazy. Y'all didn't see what he just sent?
Did you see that part, Mines? In the
What?
last video?
No, I didn't.
Hold on, let me send it.
Is it
Just
lovely?
play it real
Or
quick.
someone else sent it. It was like towards the end of the first part.
Yeah, I didn't get around to watching that. Bro, there's this show called Reacher, and they just released the last episode of the 3rd season. I need to watch that.
I
That's
watched
what I've been
like
watching.
6 episodes of that, I think. But I don't know. It wasn't really for me.
Pretty cool. I don't know. I think I like kick-ass stuff.
I watch it like a comedy. Like Reacher is not
It's-
a show you take
it's pretty
seriously.
funny.
He's
It is
this
pretty
big
funny.
man.
Big man who can't put a shirt on. Just beats everybody up. And it's so crazy.
It is
He's
that
like-
some parts
He's
actually were pretty
instantly
funny.
ready
Like,
to kill someone though.
how
Like
he,
he's
like-
ready like
you know the part in the there's like the abusive dude, and it's like he literally
Yes.
says nothing. He just stands there.
And the dude walks up to him and he grabs the dog bowl and he fucking just. It's like I told you to feed him.
I like it when they're like, "Are you a psychopath?" And he's like, "Diagnosed."
We're talking about Reach Your Sand. It's a show on Prime Video. It's about this ex-military guy who becomes a cop, who is just like a private investigator guy, who just gets in the middle of some bad stuff.
Look, I don't know why you're here, but if you want to gloat over my misfortune, you can forget it. I'm not in the mood.
Oh dear, I fear I've given you the wrong impression. I don't want to gloat, Laurie.
No?
No. In fact, upon hearing your impassioned cries, I found myself wanting to help. If you can believe such thing of a wicked woman like me.
How can you help exactly?
I know going to church is important for you, but it isn't for me. As I have nothing to lose, I might as well polish the fireplace in your stead.
Then you don't mean...
If you leave now, you may be able to make it to St. Mary's on time. You'll need to hurry though. I believe the service starts in...
Toho glanced at the glit clock hanging on the wall.
20 minutes?
But that isn't right. You didn't do anything wrong.
And neither did you.
But you shouldn't need to clean up after Pauline's messes.
I don't mind. It's no skin off my nose.
But...
That's 3 buts, my little Laurie, and I'm not budging. You should go. Attend your sermon. Your fairy godmother is always here to help.
Toho winked, but shortly thereafter she frowned, pressing one finger against her lower lip.
Now is that too dramatic? I was going for dashing, but perhaps I laid it on a bit too thick.
Lorena had no idea what Toho was babbling about, but despite her better judgment, she did feel thankful. Oh, well, if you're sure.
Of course I'm sure. I don't offer my services if I'm not sure. But...
Toho's eyes flashed.
I'm not a cheap woman.
I assumed so.
I can aid you whenever you wish, but the interest can be rather steep. When I come to collect my insurance, I'll let you know.
Hang on, let me turn you up a bit.
Also, I don't know when it came back, but the music's back.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah.
So I'm to sell my soul to the devil so I can go to church?
How cruel. I'm hardly the devil, my little Laurie. If you must compare me to a manifestation of evil, then... I'd far prefer to be called a succubus.
We don't have Eric here. Alright, everyone spam him.
Who?
We need Eric to voice Reverend Marner.
Long as a fire.
If he doesn't show up, maybe Seneca
I
could
could.
do him.
Or Sand wants to if he wants to.
I can try. He's not even online, I think.
Yes!
Oh,
No, that was
Hello.
Alexi.
yeah.
Wow.
No, it's okay, Alexi. No, we want you. It's just we were expecting Eric
Yeah.
at this exact moment.
Yeah, we need him to voice Reverend Marner.
He's gonna come in confused. Like sudden 10 things.
Anything new? Who voices who?
I'm filling in for Hannah right now until a new character comes up.
But I join and all I hear is disappointment.
Careless has just joined.
Lord!
Aw,
Get the fuck out of
no.
here!
Get outta
He isn't
here.
even online! Why are you doing this? He got the strongest revenant.
Alright, alright.
Okay,
Sanaku,
who's
you wanna
gonna
do
send
him?
me to hell?
I can.
Alright.
The tongue is a fire, a world of iniquity. So is the tongue among our members. That is that fire left the whole body.
Lorena sat at the edge of the bench, crammed against Ada's soft side in the cold, hardwood of the ancient pew. Fortunately, Lorena hadn't been late for the beginning of the service. She'd arrived in the nick of time, with less than half a minute to spare. Reverend Marner had given Lorena a long, disapproving look as she scuttled to her rightful place, but the infuriated expression on Pauline's horsey face made it all worthwhile. That harpy needed to be knocked down a few pegs. Reverend Marner's words had never felt more apt. The human tongue, if used with malicious intent, could really scorch more than any naked flame.
The tongue can no man tame. It is an unruly evil, full of deadly poison.
Lorena glanced about the congregation curiously. As per usual, Lady Constance and Lady Leonard were sitting at the front. Lady Leonard's head was held high like a bird of praise. Lady Constance, meanwhile, was fidgeting, winding her blonde hair about a finger over and over again. Why was she in such a foul state of distemper? Lorena wasn't sure, but she felt it would be prudent to keep an eye on her. She didn't want to be drawn into any of Lady Constance's childish schemes.
Therewith bless we God, even the Father, and therewith curse we men, which are made after the similitude of God.
Worrying though it was, the only one Lorena felt she could rely on as of late was Toho. This didn't mean, of course, that she and Toho were friends. They were nowhere near. Though Toho had helped her earlier, Lorena doubted it was because the older maid liked her. She'd simply done it because it amused her. Toho might have been a reliable ally, but that was purely on her own terms. Lorena didn't dislike her as she once had, but she couldn't imagine forming any kind of meaningful relationship with the older woman. Relationships were awkward things, and when they started to grow, they often caused trouble. Trouble like what had happened with the Pickering family.
Out of the same mouth proceedeth blessing and cursing. Brethren and brethren, these things ought not so to be.
Seneku actually has the perfect voice for this. But Lorena wasn't going to think about that. She didn't want to think about that. It hurt too much.
But if ye have bitter envy and strife in your hearts, glory not, and lie not against the truth.
Lorena straightened her back and tried to heed Reverend Marner's words despite the confusion that war waged within her breast. This was no time to be thinking about Lady Constance. This was no time to be thinking about Toho. This was certainly no time to be thinking about the Pickerings. She was here to think about the Lord. Nothing else mattered. Wholesome Christian stream. Did we have someone for her?
Oh, sorry, yeah. Well, that was quite an intense service.
As it should be. The word of the Lord is divine.
Lizelot smiled brightly. Her face was completely devoid of guile.
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 I'm so happy you're able to attend, Lorena.
Alright, I was voicing her before. Mines, do you want to voice her?
Alex doesn't voice anyone, I think.
Alex was voicing some people last time, actually. Do you want to
Yeah.
voice her?
I can.
Alright.
Me too. I was worried you wouldn't make it.
Mine's...
I looked down for half a second, sorry. Now, that does raise an interesting question. How did you manage to make it here so quickly, Lorena?
I don't know. Maybe it was a miracle.
Are you sure you polished the fireplace properly, Lorena?
I did my best.
Your best, is it? Your best? Like you did your best to try to seduce the Hartwell's son during your previous place of employ?
But Pauline was unable to complete her sentence. At that moment, a rather haughty voice quite cut across her. Haughty girl. I think that was probably Hannah voicing her. So mine's
Yep.
you can voice her.
Sorry, but you can chatter amongst yourselves elsewhere. You're in my way.
But the voice didn't sound very sorry at all. It belonged to
It's
a
just
young...
a bitch.
Yep. It belonged to a young girl with honey blonde hair.
You guys are giving me the great characters.
Yep, similar to Lady Constance's. Don't worry, Mines, we gave Hannah the same bullying treatment last time.
It's okay. I think I'm built for it.
Her skin was pale, her cheeks were soft, and she wore one of the most luxurious dresses Lorena had ever seen. It was clear by a single look that her dress must have cost more than a pretty penny. This girl was no mere pauper. She came from a wealthy family, not as wealthy as the Leonards, of course, but wealthy enough. Wealthy enough to afford airs and graces. Hang on, reading chat.
Wait, what's happening?
What? I'm reading the
I
chat.
don't know, I was just reading chat, I'm getting confused. Oh, I see what's happening.
Pauline the horse.
Yeah.
Lori is 19, Tilly is 29. Do we know that for sure?
It's on the wiki, I think.
Not bad by historical standards.
It's not. That I would
Yeah.
It's pretty tame.
Sorry.
Filthy Canadian.
You know, I never noticed that like sorry is like a Canadian accent. I always thought that that's just how you say it. And now
I
I've been
just say
like,
sorry.
no, yeah, no, sorry.
Sorry?
Is
It's
how
like
people are supposed to say it.
SAWRY
Yeah.
or some shit. Sorry.
But now
And
I've
while
been
you
like
guys are-
paying
you're like,
attention to it, and
sorry.
it's like, yeah, everybody in Canada says sorry.
Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry, dear.
Sorry.
You guys don't even say. You guys don't say there. You say there. Don't
Wait,
sorry
what?
there.
We say what?
There.
There?
Yep.
Wait, how do you say it?
There.
There?
Like I actually
There.
say it.
Those are literally identical.
There.
I'm
I
losing my
swear.
mind
Every
hearing
single
this.
time, I've talked to a Canadian and say there. They're like
There.
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 You guys
There.
are different. You guys are different.
How is it different?
You guys are just normal people.
You're the same
It's
thing.
literally identical.
Listen, you guys are not the same people I've talked to before.
Apparently, Canadians also say again weird.
Again?
Again.
Again?
Well, the one we're most
Again.
known for is
Again.
about when we say abu.
Again?
Nobody
I don't
says
even.
abu. I have not heard a single Canadian say
It's
abu.
it's
Oh.
definitely like a Midwestern Canadian thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. It
But you're
does
talking about-
happen, but it's not. I mean, a lot of the areas have become urbanized, so it really doesn't come out as much now.
It probably was like a times thing. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, they just moved on.
We
Wealthy
continue
and-
now.
Wealthy enough to afford airs and graces. Doubtless that was why Pauline's face burnt bright red. Cowed, she stepped backwards, dropping into a low curtsy before her social better.
I apologize. Do forgive me.
This is also you. You're talking to yourself.
I can do it. It's fine. It's fine. I suppose I can spare you this once.
The girl narrowed her eyes. She glanced at the row of assembled maids with disinterest before pausing. Her eyes met Lorena's.
You.
Yes?
I know you.
Excuse me?
I recognize your face. Plain though it is. Okay. Plain though it is, I wonder.
Now that the girl said it, Lorena discovered that she did know her. Though know might not have been too familiar a word, she had bumped into her before a few weeks ago, and her sister too. She was surprised the girl had bothered to remember her face. She was, after all, only a maid. Pauline, too, seemed confused by this turn of events, because she said,
I beg your pardon, ma'am, but you must be mistaken. You couldn't possibly know our Lorena.
That's right. That's right. She's nothing more than a maid, a judge, really.
You have no reason to converse with her. Oh?
The blonde girl drew herself up to her full height, which admittedly was not very high, and surveyed Pauline and Isabel with narrowed eyes.
Are you trying to tell me who I can and cannot converse with? You?
Her lip curled. Shit, I just remembered I was gonna try to live stream this straight to YouTube so that I don't have to like record and then render and then upload. But I forgot, so it's fine.
Boo-hoo.
Another time.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, I'm sorry.
Yeah, next time.
As if you could possibly have any sway over me and my decisions.
Ah, of course not. We didn't mean to offend.
But she did. The damage is done. Maybe I'll tell Lady Leonard about this.
Oh no, we didn't mean to insult you.
Then get out of my sight.
I like how my model like completely shits the bed whenever I drink something.
I haven't even been looking, bro.
Certainly.
Lorena, let's go. Leave the girl. I want to speak to her. You? Are you sure? Quite sure. Do I need to repeat myself? Or have you taken leave of your senses?
The girl tutted.
Goodness, it must be hard to employ decent maids nowadays. If if not even Bly can manage it, I feel sorry for Lady Leonard.
This was Alex, I think.
Yeah, we'll get Alexei back here.
Okay.
Lex!
I feel sorry for us. We apologize if we were in your way.
Yes, we're going now. I'm awfully sorry.
Awfully sorry.
I'm awfully sorry.
Sorry.
And the group of maids departed, leaving Lorna behind. Lorna, unsure of what was going on, but vaguely aware she should be appreciative of the girl's intervention, looked at her savior awkwardly. Thank you?
Oh, are you still here?
The girl snorted.
You don't need to thank me. It's meaningless.
Then, if I may be so bold to ask, why did you help me?
It wasn't for my sake. You understand. I was merely doing her a favor.
Her?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah,
Wait, how do you
You have
get
to
her
say
name?
Toho. Toho.
Toho? Okay. Toho told me if I saw you, I should look out for you. Not that I particularly want to. You should be old enough to look after yourself.
As Lorna made her solitary walk back to Bly, through the fields of unripe wheat, she found herself pondering. New background. Hang on, reading chat again. Alex said, my only purpose in life has been stolen. Stole my German privileges. Wait, which one did you voice before?
The German one.
Which is the German one again?
Lieselotte.
Alright, you voice her.
Let's go. My purpose is restored.
Yep.
And get out of here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
She's Swiss.
She's Swiss, not German.
really?
Sorry, we're taking your German privileges away again. 'Cause you
damn
got
it.
wrong.
Not that they were instated in the first place.
I speak German. Close enough.
I only know one word in German, and that's because of Faye.
Which word?
Danke.
Danke. My favorite
Dankeschön.
is Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude.
What?
Yeah, Schadenfreude. It means to enjoy other people's pain at your pleasure.
Wait, say that again.
Schadenfreude means to enjoy.
Schadenfreude? Is that? Did I say it right?
Schadenfreude.
Not sure.
What does it
Sure.
mean?
Oh, well, I'm American, so I'm trying.
It means to enjoy, like, watching other people suffer
me.
and you get something out of it.
Sadism.
In like a silly way. In a silly way. Not in like a
In a silly way, in a kinky
in a
way.
silly way. Like when you see someone like bust a kickflip and then eat it, and then you can kinda
Okay.
say, Schadenfreude.
That's funny. I just go, haha, that must have hurt.
Oh my god,
Yeah, we just
Fapita.
say- we just
Someone
say
get
oof.
Fapita in here. Spam him.
Why?
Because.
Just because.
The wind,
Gotcha.
the wind blew through her hair, making it flutter gently. Her skirts, too, shifted in the breeze. Oh, he's at work.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, quit your job, watch the stream.
Quit your job, watch the stream, come voice act the character, and you'll be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I moved around my
Hey.
Sundays
It's on
for
lunch.
this. Last
But-
time
Alas.
I was voice acting with just my portable like earbuds in an office, and I was like, ah.
Mm.
The smell of flowers, goldenrods, and hyacinth danced in the air. The sun overhead was soft and warm, like a circular slab of butter. There he is. Hello.
Oh.
It was all very
Get
tranquil,
work.
particularly without Pauline and Isabel to disturb the serene scenery, but Lorna's thoughts continued to tick, tick, tick inside her head like a clockwork mechanism. That was the second time this day that Toho had come to her aid, though indirectly on the most recent occasion. Just how much did Lorena owe the older woman, and how could she ever hope to repay her? Lorena had nothing to offer the older woman. She had precious few clothes save the ones on her back, and she sent all her earnings back to her mother in Liverpool. As for priceless fairy heirlooms, that was a joke. The only heirloom Lorena owned was her old ratty nightgown, which had once belonged to her mother, but which was perilously tight around her bust.
I mean, have you seen?
Yeah. How
Like,
could
when I first noticed, I was like, what the fuck?
What clockwork? What joke?
Nothing.
How could she square her debt with Toho? She had absolutely nothing of value to offer, save perhaps for her body.
Hell
Oh.
yeah.
Oh god.
Mm.
Oh shit.
If Toho had come to Lorena's aid twice that day, she was unable to do so that night. It was around 11 o'clock and the maids were all in their nightgowns. Their duties for the day had ended, and Lorena was curled up beneath her covers when, all of a sudden, a voice called out to her from the gloom. Is it the ghost?
I will see Ghost. Oh. Oh, Lorena! Can I have a quick word?
But knowing Pauline, it wouldn't be quick at all. Lorena remained silent. Maybe if she was silent, Pauline would think she was asleep. But it wasn't to be.
Excuse me. Lorena? Are you deaf?
She would remain silent. If she was silent, Pauline couldn't. Ow! Lorena whimpered.
Pick your ass up!
All of a sudden, a sharp burst of pain struck through her right earlobe. Pauline was pinching her ear between her thumb and forefinger. Her fingernails dug into Lorena's flesh. It hurt.
Wake up, sleepyhead. Rise and shine.
I'm up. I'm up. Just stop that, will you? Lorena pulled herself into a sitting position and glared at Pauline. The glare wasn't as powerful as she had hoped. Much of its effect was lost amongst the darkness of the gloom, and in any case, Lorena was too tired to glare properly. What do you want?
Nothing in particular.
Then why are you bothering me?
I just feel a bit restless, that's all.
Then you haven't been working hard enough. Lorena herself was so tired she could have fallen asleep standing up. Even now, with the residual pain about her earlobe, she could feel herself slipping softly into the world of dreams.
Maybe you have a point.
But the unpleasant smirk on Pauline's face kept Lorena's attention.
I was supposed to bolt all the windows and draw the curtains to the ground floor hallway. But, silly me, I quite forgot.
You've been rather forgetful today.
I know, it's terrible. That's what happens when you get old.
Then perhaps you should go and close them.
I know I should, but you're younger than me, Lorena. A late night or two won't bother you at your age.
Only I can decide what bothers me and what doesn't.
Oh? So I can take it this?
Pain flared in Lorena's right earlobe once more.
Doesn't bother you, does it?
Ow, ow, ow. Lorena whimpered, her eyes beaded with tears. Pauline didn't just have a face like a horse, she was as strong as a horse too.
Come on now. Don't exaggerate. Like you said, only you can decide what bothers you and what doesn't.
But it
It what?
It hurts.
Oh, it does? Well, that's too bad.
Pauline drew a little closer to Lorena, but her grip about the young maid's ear didn't lessen. If anything, it got even stronger.
You know what hurts me, Lorena?
What?
When you try and make me look like a fool in public. You, a girl who should, by all rights, be ashamed and derided by the entire village for being a whore.
What?
What? I'm not.
You can protest all you want, but I know the truth. Everyone does.
Pauline's fingernails gouged Lorena's skin. Lorena's ear was being twisted most uncomfortably, so it crumpled beneath the pressure.
Probably thought you were quite clever earlier, but I have news for you.
Another twist.
You are not clever. Little Miss Woe, you're not clever at all. And I'm going to prove it to you. You thought you could laugh at me? Well, we'll see about that. We'll see.
Pauline finally drew her fingers away. The excruciating pressure about her ear lessened, and Lorena found herself gasping in relief. She'd had no idea a mere pinch could hurt so much, but there was nothing mere about Pauline's manhandling. She was downright vicious.
Now, are you going to be a good girl, Lorena? Or do you want me to educate you even further?
Lorena should start throwing hands, I agree. Hang on, let me read. We should watch those movies on a movie night. Wait, which movies?
Ja, Juri.
Hello.
Kaffe.
Bro, Muffin, you just missed it, bro. I just went ham.
Alright, we should get Muffin to voice someone too.
Jo.
Hang on one second, I'm just reading the chat. Yeah, who will the new movie man be?
Well, I have Prime. I can't stream anything though because I'm on console. But if I could if I had a computer. I have Prime. I have Netflix. I have Disney Plus. I have Max.
But you can't stream.
Oh, that'd be perfect
Yeah, I know.
if you had a computer. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I know it would be perfect if I had a computer.
Guys,
I
need to
everybody
like, make...
pull money together.
Yes, I need to actually make like a GoFundMe for mine's computer. Would anyone donate to that?
Give me like a little. I don't even need anything special. I just need like a little laptop.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
literally it.
Just like
I can give you a
steal
$1.
ThinkPad from school or something.
You know, honestly, I bet
Yeah,
you
give
like...
me a Chromebook,
I bet you
Just
like
go
if...
to school and steal a laptop.
bro.
It wouldn't surprise me
I
if
should just
someone in the
walk into-
server has like an old crappy laptop that they wouldn't mind sending to you.
I
know?
work at UPS, so like I would get that shit like right away.
Oh
That's
wait,
the
I
thing.
actually do have a spare laptop actually.
I do too, actually. Like, yeah. haven't
I
Right.
used
have
it
an
in like
old,
years.
I have an old Dell
Get
that's
that
like
shit, and it's
14
just
inches.
old, run down,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Mine's better. I remember you saying you were earning quite well. What's the problem?
um, impulse.
Hmm.
I'm also
Impulse.
not working a lot.
Oh, okay. In this sense,
I
okay.
make good enough, but I don't get a lot of hours. I only got 16
Ah.
hours last week, and that's because they
Uh-huh.
Damn.
didn't. That's because people were off on vacation, so they needed me.
I'll
Hmm.
do a test on my old laptop, see if it can like run any
I only
stream.
worked 2 days the week before.
And if that works, I'll just send that off.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, like even if it's not a great laptop, like anything is better than nothing, you know.
Sure.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
then I wouldn't mind streaming movies and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do
Okay.
you think it
It
could
would
run
make me
Deep
feel more
Snow?
important.
Pardon?
Do you think it could run Deep Snow?
No.
That's his main
No.
concern.
No, it could
That's
not.
his main concern.
Hmm. People have said that like I need to make a version that can run on a potato, but people don't understand like the physics stuff. Like I can't optimize that anymore. Like physics are physics. Like I can
You know,
optimize the visuals, but as far as like the physics go,
You should remove all of the graphics.
yeah, but
Huh.
like even if I did that though, you're still gonna need a
You,
good CPU for like handling the
Port it,
well, you could,
physics.
port it
well,
to
you could
mobile.
simplify the physics. You could simplify them. Get every single little detail out of them. Then wouldn't be it could run.
Well, like they're
or you
already
could completely
optimized as
replace the
much as
tank
possible.
model.
Like
Look,
the
no.
like their box collisions for most of them. Like the I-beams, for example, it's not like complex collision, it's just like a box.
Freaking I beams.
Dear.
Fuck
No.
I-beams. All my homies hate I-beams.
Fucking I beams.
I might be buying one.
I-beam? Oh yeah, for your project.
Yeah,
An
just
I
sheet
Really?
beam.
steel. Yeah,
Forgot you were working on something.
yeah.
Um,
Oh god, for 1,000 hours.
Hang on a
4K
second.
hour. Actually, they told me yesterday you had 5. You guys lying to me?
Oh no, this
Am I
is
being
for
lied?
DS
I'm being
no.
lied to?
This is for DSD.
Oh.
Blackberry Honey.
No way!
5,000 hours.
What?
I think.
Dios mío.
I think maybe I could play Deep Snow maybe like once
Oh,
a
it is
week.
for Blackberry. Wait, I thought you were at 5,000 hours. Huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Whew.
Are you not
Cool.
there yet?
Someone has 5,000 hours in
Oh, you're shooting for
Blackberry
5.
Honey.
No, not yet.
Okay, well,
Only
What the-
4,000.
get
Listen,
on that.
what the hell do you do in 4,000 hours on a game that is 6 hours long?
Okay.
Tanuki.
Played
You
it
just-
1,000
AFK.
times.
AFK.
7 to
Jesus.
Tanuki, the
10
game is pretty good. Like,
Great replayability.
The game is very good. Like, I just called Andrew a whore. Like, yeah.
Fair enough, the game is good, but never mind.
I think this game is great so far, especially everybody's assets.
Yep.
No,
Like,
they
the
should
art,
be.
my God.
They
the art
should
looks
be
great,
halved
guys.
in
I mean, come
size.
on.
They should be halved in size. Then that's good.
Fappa just
Every-
said,
every
did they
dare to
ever say
be-
the title? What are
They-
we,
they-
some kind of
Oh,
Blackberry
yeah.
Honey?
They said it last episode. They said Blackberry Honey. Or no, no. Did they say together? They said Blackberry goes well with honey. Is what they said last episode.
Wasn't there like Blackberry Honey
Oh.
mead or something like that?
Yeah.
Hmm.
There could have been like a little tavern called Blackberry Honey. That would have been okay. And then like every character just meets up there eventually at some point, or like whatever.
Like
I mean,
the-
there are Blackberry
like the
pubs.
See, but
beginning of
that's
the
like
D&D
generic.
campaign.
Alright.
Every time.
Stupid Pauline, why don't you just go die in a ditch? I swear to God.
Say that in my face.
Lorena knew blaspheming was a
No.
grave sin, but she couldn't bring herself to care. It was a chilly night. The young girl shivered as she walked down the darkened hallway. It felt like even the air itself was trying to tease her. It snaked unpleasantly down the back of her neck and crept up her thighs. Her teeth chattered. Why hadn't anybody come to her aid? What about Ada, Effie, Lizelot? But Ada was never very reliable in a crisis. Effie spoke once every blue moon, and Lizelot had already been fast asleep. When Lizelot slept, nothing not tempest, storm, or wind could awaken her. Truly, she slumbered like a princess. Did Muffin
For
Man
real,
leave?
for real.
Damn.
Yeah.
It must have been nice being so relaxed. Lorena glanced out the windows at the rose garden. She could see, though dimly, the numerous rose bushes illuminated beneath the glow of the full moon. The moon was so round and full it reminded Lorena of a single perfect pearl set in a lady's earlobe, or else perhaps a crystal ball. It looked just like it had on that fateful night when Lorena had arrived at Blythe's gates. What would have happened, she pondered, if she had taken her bag with the dented corner and gone elsewhere? But that was nothing more than baseless fancy. She would never know. This was the path Lorena had chosen. She couldn't turn back now, no matter how infested the thorns or nettles it was. No matter how infested with thorns or nettles it was, she had to keep on going. That was what her mother would have told her. That was what her mother had told her in her last letter. Just do your best, that's all anyone can ask. Lorena's mother had always been a sensible woman. For that, Lori was thankful. Silly. The young maiden chastised herself under her breath. Why was she getting so sentimental? Now was not the time. Ah. Lorna yawned. Her tears beaded in her eyes. She hadn't realized just how tired she was. Stupid Pauline, I'll make you pay, mark my words. I'll put pigeon droppings in your tea.
Jesus.
Mumbling darkly to herself, Lorena reached forward to check the bolt on the window when she froze. Is there the ghost? There was something outside. Something moving. It could have been a fox or a badger, but it walked on two legs like a human did. Lorena couldn't see its face, so she didn't know whether it had eyes, but its hair was long and it wore a lacy nightgown. A ghost? Lizelot's ghost? Could it be? Lorna pressed her hand against her mouth. She had to bite her knuckles to stop herself from gasping. She didn't want to wake anybody, but what was the correct procedure in this fantastical situation? What else would Esselwood have done? Was there anything written in the practical housekeeping guide for fending off phantoms? Surely there must have been. It seemed inconceivable that there wasn't. The guide, Miss Smithy's pride and joy, was over 500 pages in size and included, amongst other things, tips on how to humanely dispose of slugs, how to dust a
Candelabra.
candelabra, and how to
Candelabra.
lay a table correctly if, horror of horrors, there were no soup spoons available.
No spoons?
Hang on, reading chat.
No spoons?
I feel like there's more people this time, so it's like harder for me to keep up.
You know what a candelabra is, though, right?
What?
It's just a bundle of candles on a little metal stand.
Yeah, well,
It's like menorah if it was smaller.
like a
it's
chandelier but candles.
Like something something you put in the middle of the table for a date. For a really fancy date.
Hold on.
Me when I'm taking out mines to a date.
You're gonna put a candelabra in the middle of the table? Ooh, fancy.
Smite a menorah and make him think of things.
If the ghost has a voice, I would love to voice the ghost.
What did
If
happen
there's
to
any
It's a lot,
music
it's
Spaz?
me, so.
What did happen to Spaz?
He probably got sick of being overhated and left. I don't know.
I don't know.
He was just always starting to come and start shit.
Yeah.
Like every single time. Every time he said something, it was always him
Yeah.
trying to start
I
something.
know. He was like the only one in the Patreon that was like Pretty much all of you guys are really chill. Like there's some psychos in general, but from Patreon it was like I think only Spaz that was causing some issues. I
I mean,
think.
Spaz is still on the server.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has
He's
some stuff
just
going on.
I don't
not
really
impatient,
see what
he's a
goes
server
on.
booster.
I don't see what goes on in general a whole lot, to be
Oh, he
completely
is.
honest. I
That's for the best.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's why I
most of
love
it
you
happens.
Yeah, I was
mods,
gonna
because
say it's probably for the best, buddy.
yeah, I trust you
Most of
guys
it
to handle all this stuff.
Most of it happened behind closed doors, luckily.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yes.
And DMs and stuff.
Kit Kat, how could you? I trusted
What?
you.
What the fuck?
Goosh DBBs.
Okay, then let's continue.
Hang on, I'm reading the chat.
His move's a
Remember,
lot
it takes
slower.
him 10 more minutes than us.
Yeah, he has to catch up with it.
This is ableism. I have dyslexia. You're all cancelled.
Yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
yeah,
same,
yeah.
Bestie, same.
Do you actually have dyslexia too?
Yeah, it runs in the family.
Yeah.
I've got
I
Yeah,
was-
dyslexia.
see,
I
so
was
you're just using it
diagnosed
as
as
an
a kid.
excuse.
Yeah, my family encyclopedia is actually just the DSM-5.
Hmm. Alright. The guide, Miss Smithy's Pride and Joy, was over 500 pages in size and included, amongst other things, tips on how... Oh, I read this already. But Lorena didn't know how Esselwood's Practical Housekeeping Guide... didn't know Esselwood's Practical Housekeeping Guide back to front and inside out like Miss Smythe did. Or Smithy. What was she going to do?
Bonk.
I should try to read the chat more like as I play.
You really shouldn't.
What?
Don't worry about it.
I'm not gonna just ignore the chat, because not
That's not what I
everyone
mean.
talks
That's not what I
always.
mean. I was just saying what's going on right now is crazy.
Mm.
That's what? Sorry,
Hang
Faye.
on, I'm gonna get something to eat. Hold on.
Guys, now that he's gone, this is my stream now. Welcome to
No.
the Lines playing Blackberry Honey. This is my VTuber. This is just what I do. I just stare at you and make you feel uncomfortable. Is it working?
No.
Well, maybe because when I stare at you, you think of me, and you think of me with hearts over my head.
Are you like
Every
a
time
Sims
I think
character?
about you. Mine's every time I think
No,
about
I don't
you.
have an emerald over my head.
Every time I think about you, my hearts light up.
Guys, the Shubala Duba in the Spaghetti Guba is going on and down. You know what I'm saying? Andrew's gonna come back, and be like, "What the fuck?" He's gonna see this, in when he's editing, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell? What the hell is this guy up about?"
I think he doesn't even edit these.
I do
I
plan on
remember right.
editing them in the
Oh, no.
future. It just takes me a while to edit, so I
Yeah,
uploaded
especially since you're
unedited
working
in
on
the
a game right
meantime.
now. Yeah.
I want to edit like 2 videos from the first part. One of them is gonna be Deep Snow Deliveries Artist Hates French People.
Let's go.
I hate the French.
I need to cancel myself before anybody else does.
He's like, I hate the French.
Because then it's like it won't have an effect at that point. Alright. The moon outside shone
I
upon,
hate the French.
upon the haunting figure, so it glowed. Upon closer inspection, Lorena realized it was a young girl with pale hair, pale skin too. No more than a child. Is it Lady Constance doing a little trolling? Now what business did a child have among the rose gardens of Bly in the middle of the night? It had to have been a ghost, a spirit, an apparition. There was no other explanation. At least, that was what the anxious, panic-stricken part of Laurie's mind said. The more cog... cogent, rational part, which sounded a good deal like her mother, had a different opinion. Hang on, reading. You're telling me French people are real?
No.
Back, but Dad in room, so we'll see. You know, my parents are out now, I think. But last stream they were in the house.
Have you saved some
Have I
time between now and then?
No.
You
Surprised
should
it
save.
doesn't autosave. Right. Don't be ridiculous. There's no such thing as ghosts. Such was the mantra Lorena repeated under her breath as she tried to steady her breathing. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing as ghosts. There's no such thing. And as though it was a miracle obtained by God upon high. Oh. Let's get Sanaku's dad to voice a character.
It's
Have him voice the child.
Constance.
At that exact moment, the figure in the rose garden saw fit to turn about. It was her. The wind caught in its hair, making it stream behind the figure in a ghostly shroud. But this was no ghost. The pale, pinched little face peering through the gloom was one Lorena knew all too well. It was none other than Lady Constance. And what, pray tell, are you doing out at this hour?
Mines.
Me?
Yep. You're the annoying ones.
Oh, okay.
I should have eaten more before this, because it's like I can't take a bite because I gotta keep reading. Lady Constance glared at Lorena sourly.
Eat once a day like I do.
Do you actually?
Yeah.
Dude, not healthy.
What? I'm still living.
You know, actually, come to think of it, I think I heard that, like, back when we lived as hunter-gatherers, it was like we would eat like a massive meal whenever we kill like a deer or whatever, but then we would like not eat for days. I don't know.
Shit. That's probably how it happened back then too. It would make sense with all the winters and stuff and no technology.
The original OMAD diet.
Yep, that's me right now. That's me living my life.
Yep.
They feasted whenever they could because food was unavailable most of the time. An easy way.
Yeah, but you should eat more regularly though, Mines.
No, I do. I do. I
hunter-gatherer days
snack
anymore.
throughout the day and stuff.
Yeah.
But like when it comes down to a meal, I usually only have like one decent meal a day.
Yeah, that's fair.
What
As long
is-
as you keep like snacking a lot, I guess.
Mhm.
She looked
What
remarkably.
is
Sorry.
what is very surprising is that Dren actually called that Lady Constance is the ghost the first time we were talking about her.
Yep. She looked remarkably composed for one who had been skulking about in the shadows at the dead of night. She wasn't even shaking. How in the world could that be? It was bitterly cold, and Lorena shivered despite her maid's garments. Maybe Lady Constance wasn't a human after all. She's definitely like a skinwalker or something. Like a demon sent by Satan.
Should I just voice her like that then?
Yes. Voice her like a skinwalker. But a malevolent spirit. That would explain a thing or two.
I believe I already told you, maid. I have no obligation to inform you of my comings and goings.
That was
You don't, that
retarded.
is true, but it's so late. Good girls
Sorry.
should be tucked up in their beds, not wandering about gone in the stroke of midnight.
And who's to said I was a good girl?
An excellent point.
Nobody thinks I'm a good girl. Mr. Lester hates me, so does Miss Smith. Even the stable boy hates me.
You did tell him he should get kicked in the head by a horse.
And he should. He deserves it for always calling me a saucebox behind my back, thinking I can't hear. I do have ears.
Still, being kicked by a horse is a little...
And he's not the only one. The cook hates me, the maids hate me, Miss Amy hates me too, though she pretends she doesn't.
Sounds like a skill issue. Maybe if everybody hates you...
Bro, you are talking to a child. This is a child.
Not a child, the demon child.
Oh,
Yeah, and?
demon child. Oh my god. Bro really is trying to cancel. That annoys me, most of all.
Whether everyone hates you or not is immaterial. Come in the house with me and you'll catch your death of a cold. Now leave her outside.
And I'd imagine you'd be very happy about that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Oh my, fuck you.
What I think is neither here nor there. I'm only a maid.
Well, at least you don't fawn and simper over me. I suppose that's one thing to be thankful for.
Hang on, reading.
Reading these. They're talking
Destroy
about
the
they're
child.
talking about the demon voice. Guys, I will do demon voice for anybody.
What would a skinwalker sound like? They're like trying to imitate human voices. I don't know how
I don't
you
know,
would voice
probably
act
how
that.
I kind of sounded, but like, you know, a little bit more control. More trying to sound like the person they were imitating.
You gotta do the like the
I just got done-
screaming help in the field voice.
Help!
read
Help
it
me!
like that.
Well,
I am no skinwalker.
With all due respect, it's much too
with all
cold.
due respect, it's much too cold. Keep going, keep going.
No. With all due respect, it's much too cold to fawn and simper. I feel like my fingers are gonna fall off.
Maybe I misjudged you. You're not so bad after all, maid.
And you're every bit as bad as I've always thought.
I know. I'm a bad girl. I already said that.
Lady Constance frowned, digging the tip of her shoe into the earth. At least she had had the good sense to wear shoes. Padding about barefoot was the fastest way to inflame the lungs. That was a mantra Lerna's mother lived by. Though the Was were too poor to always afford food, Lerna's mother always ensured the girls were well shod.
But I'm not trying to make your life difficult. Not now, at least.
Then why are you out in the garden at such an ungodly time? Was she trying to make contact with the devil? Yes, definitely. Lerna wouldn't put it past this challenging child.
I heard a noise outside of my bedroom window, and I went to investigate.
A noise?
Mm-hmm. It sounded like a cat.
You went outside in this weather to search for a cat?
Is there a problem with that?
It doesn't seem very sensible.
Well, I happen to like cats. I've seen a charming black cat wandering around the grounds lately, but he doesn't let me pet him.
Oh my god, Constance is all lesbians. She's chasing cats in the rain.
He runs away when I get too close.
He must have been a smart cat then. Even felines knew Lady Constance was not to be crossed.
Sorry, I'm getting bullied. I was wondering if the cat I could hear was the same one I've seen lately. That's all.
Have you looked for him in the night before?
One or two times, yes.
Ah, so that solved the mystery. You know, you gave some of the maids quite a scare.
That's nothing new.
They were under the impression Bly was being haunted by a ghost.
A ghost?
Lady Constance snorted. What is she snorting?
Snorting weed. I mean, crack. I mean, yeah. And only uneducated fools set much more. Fuck! Only uneducated fools set much store by ghosts. People are far more frightening.
For once, Lorena was inclined to agree with her. I also think it's ridiculous, but you shouldn't wander off in the middle of the night. It's dangerous.
Nonsense! I'm the most dangerous thing out here.
It was a fair point. Lorena didn't feel like pressing the subject. She had no business scolding Lady Constance. She was not, after all, her mother. Alright, let's go back inside.
But the cat.
The cat can wait. Lady Constance didn't look particularly happy about this, but she didn't protest. Maybe the cold wind had chilled her more than she was letting on. Who was she again?
Lori, are you alright?
Ada sat on the edge of Lorena's bed, her hands clasped together.
You're gone such a very long time. I was starting to worry.
She was the only maid who had. The others were sound asleep. It's fine. You don't need to worry.
But
Shh. Lorena held a finger to her lips, bidding Ada to be quiet. Her impassioned dialogue had been enough to make Lizelot stir, shifting in her bed.
Andermatt, my beloved home.
And then she fell silent once more. The servants' quarters were completely silent, save for the low sound of the wind and Pauline's snores. So after pushing her unfinished work onto Lorena, she'd fallen asleep? What a charlatan. Lorena changed as quickly as she could and took a seat by Ada's side. The bed creaked in protest, but the sound wasn't loud enough to alert the other maids to her presence. You didn't need to stay awake for me, you know.
I know, but I was very worried.
Why?
You were gone such a long time. I thought, oh, I don't know. I thought perhaps the ghost had found you.
Well, perhaps it did in a sense.
What?
Shh. Lorena held a finger to her lips again, imploring silence.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Ada ducked her head, her cheeks flushing.
That is, I meant to say what?
Lorena had never heard somebody have a mental breakdown so quietly before. She hadn't thought such a thing was possible, but Ada was proving her wrong. This night was indeed a night of surprises. I found your ghost, Ada, if you could call it that. Upon reflection, I think it might have been even more dangerous than a phantom.
No.
Ada pressed a hand against her mouth. Her eyes were big and round.
It wasn't a demon, was it?
Some would label her as such, but I prefer to call her Lady Constance.
Huh? Lady Constance?
The one and only.
But what was Lady Constance doing outside?
Searching for her manners, perhaps?
Well, I hope she found them.
I wouldn't count on it. But the encounter earlier had sparked a fair amount of interest in Lorena's generous breast.
What?
What?
For real, what?
Maybe there was more to Lady Constance than met the eye. The 18th of April, Monday. Breast mentioned. But this hypothesis was put to the test more forcefully the following day.
Who
Okay.
is that?
You want? Okay, so is this
This is Lady
Constance
Constance.
or Lady
This is
Constance?
the
This is Lady Constance.
Or wait, is it someone different?
Is this mom or like Lady
maybe.
Constance?
I don't know.
Get out of my sight, you ingrat! I don't even want to look at you.
But Lady Constance.
Enough! Get out! Get out! Get out! Go away!
What in the world? What the Sigma? Though the voices were muffled behind closed doors, Lorena could pick out each and every word with ease.
Mademoiselle, I never meant to cause any offense.
I don't care what you meant. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care.
Damn, I wish Hannah was here. Minds, you have to sound extremely racist while you read these.
Yeah, I hate the French. But what should I tell your mother?
I hate the French. I hate the French.
Tell her you're done. You're not coming back, and I can't even stand to see your face.
But Mademoiselle.
How many times do I have to tell you? I am not a mademoiselle. I am a lady.
My lady.
It's too late for that. Shut up. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Tips hat, milady.
Tips at my lady Frenchly.
There was a sudden bang. Miss Amy exited the drawing room, her bright red hair curling free from its restrictive bun. Her eyes were wide, almost wild, and her face was so pale she looked as though she had seen a ghost. Constance really is a ghost, huh? In a way she had, yep. She had experienced a close encounter with the feared ghost of Bly, renowned for striking raw, icy terrors into the heart of all.
Mademoiselle, please.
Shut up.
But...
Are you stupid? Do your ears not work? I told you to leave.
I apologize.
It's too late for that. It's much, much, much too late. Get out of my sight before I throw something at you. I hate you.
Yes, I will take my leave now.
And don't come back.
Wait, what did Fabu just send?
Don't come back. We hate the French.
I hate the French.
Oh my god, that was like in unison.
I hate the French.
Alright,
hate
everybody,
the
everybody,
French.
ready? Ready?
I
I'll do
hate
3, 2,
the
1. We'll do 3, 2, 1, I hate the French. Alright, 3, 2, 1.
I hate the French.
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 Miss Amy all but fled down the hallway. She stumbled more than once, and Lorena instinctively reached forth to help her. The poor woman looked like she could use some help.
Oh, Lorena. Lorena, mon chéri. I apologize that you had to see in such a painful fight in my character. Je suis désolé.
You don't need to apologize. Lorena frowned. She wasn't sure what to say. There was nothing she could say. What happened?
Mademoiselle, oh, she was in such a foul mood this morning. She refused to pick up a quill. She yawned whenever I spoke to her. She even turned her nose up at the piano.
But I thought Lady Constance liked the piano?
She does. She's remarkably good at it. But today, no. As stubborn as a mule.
Isn't she always stubborn?
Indeed she is, but it was worse today. I do not know what happened, but... After I tried for the dozenth time to coax her into doing some work, she...
Exploded?
Exactement.
I see. Lorena saw only too well.
Anyway, forgive me, Lorna. I don't want to disrupt your work.
You aren't disrupting me. I was the one who asked.
Oui, oui.
Miss Amy nodded. She looked distracted. Lorena didn't blame her.
I would say until we meet again, but I fear this will be the last time I work with the young mademoiselle. Even if Mademoiselle Lena does not fire me, I...
Miss Amy's words faltered. She bit her lower lip.
I cannot work with such child any longer. She is only 12 years old, but she frightens me. Oh, the poor mademoiselle. To lose yet another governess. The change must be hard on her, undoubtedly, but... If only she could learn to control her temper.
Miss Amy straightened herself, brushing a few strands of red hair behind her ear.
Au revoir, Lorena. It was a pleasure.
Goodbye, Miss Amy. Likewise. And with a small courtesy, the governess walked down the corridor and out of Lorena's life for good. Lorena didn't doubt that she would never see Miss Amy again. Who would continue to subject themselves to Lady Constance's abuse if they had a choice? It was unthinkable. So Lorena didn't think about it. But what of Lady Constance? The French is gone.
Yes! I hate the French.
Lorena
I
glanced down.
hate the French.
Lorena glanced down the hallway. Lady Constance was still standing in the entrance of the drawing room, her face a pale death mask. Her lips were drawn together in a firm line, but her chest was rising and falling raggedly from exertion.
Why are you here, maid?
Oh, I just happened to be passing.
And you just happened to be eavesdropping, didn't you?
I work here.
Shut the fuck up and answer my question.
Forgive me, miss. You were being rather loud.
Whatever.
Lady Constance turned her nose up in the air.
The story is bound to get out eventually. Amy will leave. I always knew she would. And then you and the other maids will have some nice, juicy gossip to share amongst yourselves. I know how much you love gossip.
Lady Constance's tone was so pointed, Lorena almost found herself feeling guilty. Almost. She had nothing to feel guilty about, after all. She wasn't the only one who had nearly reduced Miss Amy, sweet, innocent Miss Amy, who had sympathized with Lady Constance and offered Lorena biscuits, to tears. You know, you really shouldn't behave like that.
Uh-oh. Oh?
Lady Constance's eyes flashed dangerously, her little hands clenched into fists. Uh-oh.
What was
Are we gonna
that,
throw hands?
maid?
I said you shouldn't behave like that. It's improper.
And what gives you the right to lecture me?
It isn't a matter of rights. All I know is I was raised to respect my elders. You might be a lady. Lorena spat the word out with no small amount of malice. But the fact remains that you are still a child. You had no reason to speak to Miss Amy like that. None at all.
I see. So, you think this is my fault?
I can't see who else is to blame. You were the one shrieking like a banshee.
Oh, of course. That's so typical. You don't ask for my side of the story, but you've already started assigning the blame.
Cries in French. Oui, 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 oui.
I hate the French.
Lady Constance.
Don't call me that. And I know you don't mean it. You don't respect me.
Lady Constance stabbed a finger in Lorena's direction. Her blonde hair fluttered about her shoulders like a shroud.
None of you respect me. Not the cook, or the maids, or my governess.
How is Miss Amy disrespecting you?
She has always treated me with disrespect. She tries to act nice, although she's my friend. Are you alright, mademoiselle? Is something the matter? But she has no interest in getting to know me. She just wants her wages into the end of the day, like everybody else. You're all disgusting. Every last one of you. I thought you might not be so bad, but...
Lady Constance shook her head.
You still take her side. You believe her word over mine, even though I'm a lady. Well, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all of you. Just disappear.
And with that, Lady Constance drew back her right hand and smacked her palm against a vase resting on a nearby pedestal. Not just any vase. An expensive vase. All the decorations in the Leonard's household were expensive, almost tastelessly so, and Lorena had cause to ponder on more than one occasion. This vase, however, was worth more than most. It was one of Lady Leonard's personal favorites, and depicted the love affair of Cupid and Psyche. And all Lorena could do was stare. Uh-oh. Slowly, very slowly, as if time had come to a crawl, the vase fell through the air and shattered against the carpet. It shattered in dozens, hundreds, thousands of pieces, or more. It was impossible to count. The mere thought of trying made Lorena feel dizzy. She'd never been very good at mathematics. Neither was she good at reining in her own emotions, which threatened to explode. You! She turned on Lady Constance, her eyes narrowed. How could you do something like that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
But the vase.
Ah, yes. The vase. One of my mother's favorites. A gift father brought back home from Italy.
Lady Constance ran a hand through her hair casually, without a care in the world. It was the same hand, Lorena noted, she had used to push the vase off its plinth and into its early grave. Not that ceramics had graveyards.
You'll be in a lot of trouble when she finds out, maid.
What are you talking about?
Well, you're the one who broke it, aren't you?
It is time to destroy the child.
Dude, you guys just gave me, you guys are making me a villain. Like, I'm a fucking villain.
I'm probably gonna be executed if she gets blamed for it. Lerna's mouth parted into a small O of unabashed shock. She could hardly believe her ears. How could Lady Constance stand there, now cool and composed, and accuse Lorena of a crime she had committed? It would have been a different matter if Lady Constance had been more sneaky about it, but this was so blatant. The deep injustice of the situation stung Lorena's pride even more acutely than the thorns from the roses had. How could you accuse me of something I haven't done?
Very easily. Would you like to see?
Kinda base, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm made for these characters, to be honest.
No, you can't.
Remember,
Didn't your
she's a
mother ever
skinwalker.
tell you not to tell lies?
Perhaps. But Mother will believe whatever I tell her.
Fapata says, snap her neck, then throw the body down a flight of stairs. She fell.
Oops! Yeah, but then I get back up because I'm a skinwalker, remember?
Oh, you're fucked up now.
Lorena didn't doubt that. Lady Leonard had always been a doting mother, to Lady Constance's detriment. Why else would she allow her Helion of a daughter to cycle through governesses so rapidly, even quicker than the changing leaves?
You broke it. That's what I'll tell her. Maybe it was an accident. You were cleaning and you happened to trip and stumble. But it was still your fault. All your fault.
An unpleasant smirk spilt across Lady Constance's lips.
I wonder what she'll say.
How could you?
Yes, I think she might say something to that effect.
Why, you little...
Oh dear, what seems to have happened here?
Lady Constance's
Oh,
back straightened.
This is your backup, bro.
She looked at Toho anxiously from beneath her fringe, with the contrite expression Lorena had never seen her wear before.
Funny what you're saying.
Could it be? Was Lady Constance of all people afraid?
My, what a mess.
Toho picked her way across the carpet carefully, holding her skirts in her hands as she took care not to place her feet on any stray shards of ceramic.
They all have the primal fear. It appears that somebody has broken a vase, and oh dear, it was the one depicting Cupid and Psyche, wasn't it? I was rather fond of that vase.
Mother was fond of it too, until this useless maid broke it.
I did no such thing.
Lori, please. I appreciate that you are upset, but there are better ways to settle this. It isn't very ladylike to engage in petty squabbling, is it?
It isn't petty. That vase was expensive.
Then why did you push it over?
I didn't push it over. You broke it.
But I saw you do it.
Alright, you two. Fighting won't get us anywhere. Let's take a moment to calm ourselves, shall we?
You're just a maid. What do you know?
I may be just a maid, as you so eloquently put it, but that is not why I cannot let this be. I only want the best for you, Lady Constance. While I appreciate that you are upset over the destruction of an expensive family heirloom, you can take your anger out on yourself. A true lady would try to get her maids to respect her, not fear her.
That was what Toho said, and she said it so smoothly too that Lorena felt herself being drawn in. It was impossible to resist. Not even Lady Constance could stand her ground against Toho.
Well, you might be right.
I know. I often am. It's one of the many perks of being me. Now, I don't know what happened or how the vase came to be broken, so I will not assign any blame. It would be in our best interest, however, if we cleaned it up. I wouldn't want anybody to harm themselves. Laurie, would you be a dear and fetch me a dustpan and brush?
Surely you're not going to clean it up yourself.
Of course. Being a maid, that's my job.
But this isn't your fault.
And as I already told you, I don't care whose fault it is. It is much more important that we resolve this issue. Chop chop!
Toho clapped her hands together with each successive chop chop. Lorena nodded. Fine. So saying, trying to quell the evident gratitude in her voice, Lorena exited the hallway.
Ah, thank you, my little Laurie.
Don't mention it.
Toho
Pondered, examining the broken vase critically.
Even if I swept up the evidence, I won't be able to hide this from Lady Leonard. I can't imagine she'd be pleased to hear about this, no matter what I tell her.
Mother loved that vase. She'll be very upset.
I can imagine. Well, I suppose I could always tell her that I broke it.
Today was a day for surprises, evidently, and not just little shocks on par with unexpected raindrops against the nape of the neck. This was more akin to being hit by a bolt of lightning. But you didn't break it.
I'm sorry. I just seen what Puputa said in the chat and it just absolutely sent me for a second.
This Toho knows what's up.
I'm sorry. Exactly. It's ridiculous. Are you trying to be some sort of saint?
Like Lysolot's beloved Saint Venera, perhaps. No, Lorena couldn't see it. No matter how she examined Toho, she couldn't detect the slightest slither of saintliness about her.
I know I didn't, but as there's no way of telling who's at fault the broken vase lies with, it would be immoral to assign any blame.
But it would be even more immoral to blame somebody who wasn't even there to begin with.
I don't mind. It doesn't bother me.
It will bother Lady Leonard.
So it may, and I will certainly be in disgrace for it, but I doubt it would disrupt my current position. You might be easy to replace, my little Laurie, but I am not.
It was true, too. Toho was not easy to replace. Lorena had never seen a more exotic woman before. Much like the vase, she was a quaint curiosity from a foreign land, except she would not break quite as easily.
As for you, Lady Constance, you should probably take your leave. It is dangerous for you to linger here with broken china strewn across the carpet.
Like you need to tell me. I don't want to spend my time with you anyway.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out, rotten child.
Lady Constance turned her nose up in the air and stalked off, proud as a cat. Toho watched the little girl as she left, her head tilted to one side.
What a charming girl.
Are you being sarcastic?
She can be quite a handful, it is true.
It's far worse than that.
Lady Leonard spoils her. I am sure she means well by it, but loving somebody too much can be poison.
Toho shook her head.
I hate selfish little girls like that.
Ah. Though Toho's voice remained light and unaffected, there was a bite to her words Lorena hadn't heard before. It was almost startling. Hate is quite a strong word, don't you think?
Are you lecturing me, Laurie?
No, not at all. I don't like Lady Constance either. I can't stand her. It's just... I didn't know you cared about people enough to hate them.
You think I am that detached from my fellow man?
Yes.
How cool. Your impression of me must be frightful.
You don't do much to dispel it.
And after I did you such a favor too, I could have walked on by and it would have made no difference to me.
Why did you help? I didn't ask for it.
I suppose I stepped in because I disliked the way Lady Constance carries on, and I want to teach her a lesson. Somebody has to, if her mother won't.
Oh, I see. Lorena sighed, deflated, though she didn't know why. What had she been hoping for anyway? Toho's response made perfect sense. It would have been odder if her actions had been inspired by any other sort of motivation, surely. And yet, this was not the first time Toho had come to her aid. Hello. There was the thorn and then the fireplace. Who joined?
Egg joined.
Hello. And now the vase. Was there a deeper meaning behind it, or had Toho simply been stricken with a sudden fit of whimsy? Maybe she had merely been trying to teach Lady Constance a lesson. Lorena herself often wanted to discipline Lady Constance, but she knew she wouldn't be able to get very far. I don't know why she listens to you. She never listens to me.
Sounds like a skill issue, my little Laurie, because you, my little Laurie, are not particularly frightening.
And you are?
Oh, I'm dreadful.
Toho curled her fingers into claws as Lorena laughed. She couldn't help herself. You're so silly.
But I still made you smile. I would consider that a success.
I just wonder, how are you able to make Lady Constance act so obediently?
I suppose I have more practice. I've known her since she was even smaller than a bag of flour.
I think she would bully me all the same, even if I had known her as long as you.
I think that's a fair assessment. You are quite fun to tease.
What? Toho smiled and tugged at the end of Lorena's ponytail.
Nothing. Pay it no heed.
Get your hands off me then.
And that is precisely your problem.
What?
You get too flustered. If you want people to obey you, you shouldn't cover or stammer or shy away, but neither should you make your anger too apparent. Anger only breeds more anger.
Violence breeds violence.
The circle continues.
I can't help being angry. Lady Constance is so cruel, not just the vase, but what she said to Miss Amy.
She is French. She had it coming. I know, we have a good many things to be angry about, but it will get us nowhere.
You said you hated Lady Constance.
I do, but I don't let her know that, not too openly. It's better to treat others with arch disdain, but not abject revulsion. Keep them guessing, then they won't know how to respond.
That sounds awfully manipulative to me.
All human interactions about manipulation, my little Lori.
That says a lot.
Well, I don't think you could pull it. I don't think I could pull it off. I get too worked up.
I know,
So
you're not
sorry.
very good at keeping your cool. But it's not a trait I dislike. It will make your life more difficult, but mine infinitely more entertaining.
Wait, what do you mean entertaining? Toho smiled sardonically and ruffled the top of Lorena's head. You will have to solve that problem on your own. Holy hell, Lori is me. See, this is what I said. She's the Patrick Bateman of lesbians. Lorena was attempting to write a letter. The key word being attempting because she had advanced no further than the first two words. Dear Mother. It was a start, she supposed, but what came next? What could she say? She wanted to write about Toho, but the words wouldn't come. She had no words to describe her. Come on, Lorena, she castigated herself. Think, think, think. But she couldn't think, and thinking became all the harder when...
Lorena, did you hear? Did you hear?
Lorna jumped. A round blot of black ink fell from the end of her quill and landed on her writing paper. She glanced at the paper, which was now ruined, then back up at Lysolot. Down to the paper, then back up at Lysolot. Well, so much for that. Lorena clicked her tongue against the roof of her mouth. Then, with a small sigh, she crumpled the now useless piece of paper up in her right hand and tossed it to one side. She didn't see where it landed, and neither did she care. Writing paper was expensive, yes, and it pained Lorena to waste the money, but what could she do? She could hardly scrape the stray ink off the page and start again. The damage was already done.
I apologize. I'm not in your way, am I?
No, don't worry, it's alright. Lorena raised her head, forcing a smile. What did you want to tell me, Lysolot?
I heard a very interesting rumor.
What? Lysolot tapped a finger against her lower lip.
I heard it from Ada, who heard it from James, who heard it from Evan, who heard it from Bessie, who heard it from...
Can you get to the point already? Lorena had been in Bly for 4 months, but she still had trouble keeping track of all the people Lady Leonard employed, and Bly was a relatively small estate. In Hartwell, Lorena had shared her attic bedroom with no less than 11 maids like herself.
Well, what I wanted to say was, it appears Miss Amy has left.
Oh yes, I
The
already
French
heard.
have been removed.
But Lorena had not heard
I hate the French.
heard it through a convoluted game of Chinese whispers from
I hate the French.
from a footman to a chambermaid to the tea boy. She had been there in person and had seen the events unfold before her own two eyes. Not that Lorena had any intention of telling Lizelot that. If the other maids knew, she'd become a subject of gossip herself, more so than she was already.
So it seems it is true.
Lizelot sighed. She looked dejected.
And I was hoping it was just a rumor. I quite liked Miss Amy. No, I don't.
It's a pity Lady Constance didn't.
Lady Constance does not like any of her governesses. In fact, it is worse than that. Lady Constance does not like anyone.
Lorena blinked. Lizelot was such an unfailingly cheery girl. It was strange to hear her speak ill of another, even if that other was Lady Constance, whom everyone disliked. Whomst everyone disliked. Even the footmen, the chambermaids, and the tea boy. Did you have a run-in with Lady Constance today? Whomst did
Indeed, she tripped me up as I was walking down a hall, and I bumped my head. She did not even apologize.
Bro, Hannah needs to come back.
Yeah. I think I might go in a bit actually. Hopefully we get her for the next one.
It's not that I don't want to, it's just I don't want to play a villain anymore.
Lizelot's
I want to be Reverend.
lower lip trembled. She brushed her blonde fringe aside, showing Lorena a small egg-shaped lump on her forehead. That sounds like Lady Constance, alright.
Oh, but it is such a pity. Miss Amy was so nice. She always stopped to talk to me in the hallways. Unlike Miss Lillian, in comparison, Miss Lillian was so...
Austere?
Exactly! She didn't even look at us servants. She was so haughty.
Well, she was the daughter of a gentleman.
Yes, but she had such airs and graces when she was a servant, just like us. Miss Amy was nothing like that.
That's probably why she didn't last.
Indeed, Lady Constance can be so very frightful. I would be afraid for my life if I had to wait on her every other day.
Lizelot smoothed her fringe down, hiding the ugly bump, and let her arm fall to her side.
But oh, it is such a pity. Miss Amy did not deserve to go.
Indeed, it is a pity.
Lorena's shoulders tensed. Pauline.
Hello, Lorena. Lottie.
Pauline entered the servants' quarters, closing the door behind her with a thud far louder than necessary, and gave the pair of girls an amused grin.
I see you're also gossiping about Miss Amy's untimely departure.
Lizelot, who was incapable of seeing the bad in anyone, except it appeared Lady Constance, nodded eagerly.
Oh, that is right. It is so unfair. I feel bad for the poor woman.
Oh my god, Eric message. I can't believe I'm missing Blackberry honey. Yeah, we're past the part with Reverend Martin though.
Poor Eric. He did. He got pinged like 50 times. My heart bleeds.
Like hell it did.
But I'm sure Lady Leonard will find a replacement soon enough. She always does, despite Lady Constance's reputation. There are a lot of women desperate to make money out there who will do anything for a few coins.
shot a sidelong look at Lorena. Her lips curved into a thin smile.
Isn't that right, Lorena? Oh, but it is quite heartbreaking. Why should an honest, hardworking woman like Miss Amy be driven away from her place of employment?
Lorena turned her head. She knew what was coming next.
When a girl of ill repute, such as yourself, is still allowed to work here. I actually kind of like Pauline.
What
Not
the
her
fuck?
character, not like that. I mean, like playing her.
Hmm.
I might have to steal that one from Hannah.
Oh,
Ah, Reverend.
Oh, he's gone.
We just
Then-
had
then
him.
who
He was
left?
just here.
Eric
I can do
left?
it.
Wait,
Eric did.
Wait,
he did just
wait.
leave.
Look, if
He's
Eric's
going
here,
to park
He's going-
right now.
yeah,
He's
I
going
know.
to park.
I'm like starving. I kind of
Take
feel
a
like
short break.
Girl's starving.
I do gotta work today actually. Like I gotta,
Mm.
cause I'm trying to get that
You're supposed
update
to
out
finish
by
your
April 1st.
shit,
Gotta
yeah.
work through this weekend, and then I was gonna break after that. So,
so we're stopping
I
here?
think I might go. Yeah.
After.
Make sure you save.
Yep.
Yeah, save. I gotta play Phasmophobia with a buddy in an hour and a half anyways, so it's perfect. Gives me time to relax.
All right. All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you next week,
Yep.
probably same time.
Thank
Yep.
you.
All right. See you guys.
Bye.